What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and in this video, I am finally going to be the protagonist and put together the true Burning Tree comp. And we're going to be looking at a Fates game. Fates is a lot of fun on this new patch and a free hero, so I've been putting out a ton of Fates content. And when I see a Forbidden Fruit in that first shop, normally Forbidden Fruit is always just a lock. Then you purchase 2 units on turn 2, but Fates provides an interesting angle with it. There's some other characters that would potentially use the Forbidden Fruit on turn 1, Mad Catter, Merlin, Wonder Waddle. But basically, I like to roll for something better to be fated onto. And Cinderella, 1, does not count as what we are fated onto, so we're going to be fated onto whatever we purchase here. And also of note, we get another Forbidden Fruit, so never punished. We are still going to be able to pick up 2 units this turn. I'm definitely buying the Forbidden Fruit. The question is, what do I want to be fated to? And I think trees are really strong right now. I already mentioned this is a Burning Tree game. I do really like Fanny as a unit to be fated onto. The dwarves are nowhere near the power of Burning Tree, so I'm not even going to touch the Fanny. I'm just going to pick up the goat now that we are fated to the tree. And this happy little tree will go to town here against the trophy hunter and slowly take them out. So we are fated to that happy little tree. We will see it in the shop. We could change what we are fated to by casting this Shard of the Ice Queen. And we do want to cast a spell because we've got this Cinderella. But one other thing that we can do is we can cast Shard of the Ice Queen on the second happy little tree. And basically, you are fated to the individual unit. And this is really important because I am fated to this unit, not happy little tree, this exact unit. So yeah, you can see me there showing off. That's what I'm fated to, not this one. So you are free to transform the second copy of what you purchase, and that's not going to affect the fates here. And yeah, that's like just important, like tiny mechanical stuff that can sometimes be important to know. Sometimes it's totally relevant, but it's interesting nonetheless. We're going to walk away from this combat with a tie, which is really nice, and then we'll be able to start picking up more happy little trees starting on this turn. However, there's actually a lot to consider in this shop. We could Mix-a-Wizzle our happy little tree. I'm not sure if that would change the fated unit in the shop, like right this second. But it's interesting and something that I might want to try one time because I am fated to this happy little tree. What happens? I know what happens if you TLK it or Polywoggle slays or something like that. Or actually, I don't know what happens if you TLK it. What happens in this turn in this shop if you transform the happy little tree? I'm not sure, but there, like I said, is a lot going on this shop. I really want the Queen of Hearts to make me really strong for this board. And one of the things that I'm also considering there pretty strongly, I am going to lock this shop because basically the Mix-a-Wizzle onto the Sleeping Princess is really good. And I was debating not buying the happy little tree and just selling the golden chicken to Mix-a-Wizzle the Sleeping Princess. Honestly, would have worked out a lot better for us against this Earthquake, which winds up basically destroying us here. But unfortunately, that is, just going to hit us for some damage, so a little bit unlucky. And the plan was to just True Love's Kiss the happy little tree, but then I see this creeper, and that's really good for where I want to go eventually with this comp. So just going to throw the Mix-a-Wizzle on the golden chicken, and we get a pretty decent evil unit here. Ring of Regeneration could save us some health. Book of Heroes, kind of cheeky with the happy little tree. And then there's also Dark Contract, which is just a good treasure in its own right. Definitely been more impressed with Dark Contract recently, especially as like the early game tempo just is so important, and it's kind of like a game-to-game thing, but definitely liking Dark Contract right now. So we locked, and we're going to wind up not really doing anything with this shop. I mean, we did cast the spell, which ticks down the Cindy and gives us a 4/4 for this turn. But the main thing here is I really like Darkwood Creeper because it's going to help scale up the Happy Little Tree while also being something that can scale up Burning Tree in the end game and just lets Burning Tree kind of slot right in to the comp that we'll be able to make for it. And I do think that this game kind of feels a little bit like a Wednesday video or a Gwen video because we've got this upgraded Happy Little Tree. So it kind of works in this time slot. Unfortunately, no Gwen video this week. I will pick Gwen anytime I see her to try to get Wednesday content out for you guys. Unfortunately, I just haven't seen Gwen in the past week. I'm going to take Jack's Jumping Beans here just to get a little bit stronger on the current board. But yeah, haven't seen Gwen. I've played one Gwen game this entire patch, and that was because last Wednesday I did a stream specifically justifying Wednesday content to put out last Wednesday. And unfortunately, yeah, I'm just not going to count on doing that tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what my day is going to look like, so I don't want to bank on putting out content for tomorrow. So this is what you get. You get the Fates, you get Happy Little Tree, and you're happy about it. And we'll pick up another Haunted Creeper here. Pretty nice now with Haunted Creeper getting the +3/+2 from the Wicked Witch and then +5/+5 from the Dark Contract. All of that is pretty good. And then last second, I'm even going to switch the Creeper and the Queen of Hearts just to protect these Creepers and let us continue to scale this Happy Little Tree. Obviously, this game isn't playing out quite the same way that a Gwen video would. A little bit different. Our upgraded units are getting +3/+3, which allows Cindy to survive there, which is probably bad. It would have hit the Happy Little Tree otherwise. But yeah, I feel like this kind of feels like a Wednesday video in some aspect. Gingerbread Knight is interesting off of the For Glory. Honestly, probably could have used the Shard of the Ice Queen here on Gingerbread Knight, but for whatever reason, I do not go for that one. Do think I am lining up here taking the Evil Witch, or the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, I guess it is an Evil Witch. That seems like it'll be reasonably decent for us. I would, though, rather, and Heartwood Elder is a great pickup here to take out the Queen of Hearts with, because one thing that it's also going to let us do now that we can play the Heartwood Elder over the Queen of Hearts, yeah, these Sporkos also looking kind of interesting, but now we can play the Heartwood Elder in slot 5, and the Happy Little Tree in slot 1. And what that will do for us is it will allow the Happy Little Tree to take some damage before these creepers die off to combat. Some really interesting choices to make here with the positioning. Do you want two like 7/7s, or do you want one smaller guy and then one of them's going to get +1 or +2/+2? So which one do you want to scale? A lot of really interesting kind of like tiny decisions that we wind up making in this game that are pretty cool. But yeah, I guess I've said everything that I can about Wednesday. The other reason that I wanted to get this video out is the next 3 videos. If you've been lacking for some Burning Tree content, the next 3 videos that I'm going to put out over the next 2 days are really heavily going to feature Burning Tree. Basically, I did a live stream where I tried to force Burning Tree comps, and it was really quite good, actually, because Burning Tree is quite good. Count how many times I've said Burning Tree in this video. Merlin's Hat, kind of interesting, some good value, but Sting is good with Burning Tree, and I know that's what I'm building towards. So I am... Oh, I take Merlin's Hat? Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. I'm getting a little bit some of the games confused in my mind, I guess. But Merlin's Hat is still quite good here. Apologies for that. Yeah, getting some of the games kind of confused with each other. But that is because I have played so many Burning Tree games since this one, and I feel like I've put out a few Burning Tree videos where I haven't quite put everything together. I know what the puzzle pieces are, but they just haven't fallen quite into place for us. And now we're going to get to see some games where, like I said, we are the protagonist and we are really going to make these Burning Tree comps work now that I have a little bit better of an idea what I'm doing. And that's, I think, important to realize that, like, when we have a new patch like this one where we had so many new elements, my videos the first week were a lot of just like me in the experimentation phase, which I think is also like very fun. But of course, that's not always going to mean I'm pulling off the most powerful combos and those kinds of things before I get all of the reps under my belt. But now I'm feeling pretty good and I have an idea of what I do want to be building towards. And I like the end. Unfortunately, we throw away the end by picking up this Falling Stars. But honestly, this is still pretty sweet because this Falling Stars is now going to be able to scale the heck out of this Burning Tree that we will pick up in 1 second. The Burning Tree is going to get an additional +5, +10 from the Dark contract. And then the Falling Stars is going to give it +2, +2. I guess +2, +1 because it also deals 1 damage to it. But yeah, this is looking pretty good now. We've got a 1030 about to become a 1231 at the start of the fight. And overall, seeming pretty strong. Falling Stars can be a little bit of a liability against Trophy Hunter, but it's not going to matter too much. Oh, yeah. And then the Burning Tree also gets +4, +8 from both of the Heartwood Elders supporting it. So it's pretty big. 1725, now 1810. It is not dying. It has taken out my opponent's entire comp, and it's still going to survive there at the end, knocking Trophy Hunter down to 5. So, yeah, pretty sweet stuff here. I think that this game really does do a good job of like showcasing Burning Tree and then also kind of being like a good build path if you just want to force Burning Tree. However, one of the strengths of the Burning Tree comp is that you don't have to force it. You can just transition into it after having a strong early game. Staff of the Old Toad is absolutely great because all of the pieces that you need for the Burning Tree comp you can find with Staff of the Old Toad. So I do like XP, and it would have been nice to find the end last turn. However, I don't think it's that horrible to not have purchased XP. And the reason for that is finding the Burning Trees while you are level 5 is going to potentially open the doors for some really good treasures and set yourself up well once you hit level 6. Those really good treasures, of course, being Ambrosia, Staff of the Old Toad, and Hand of Midas. Those are going to be really good just in terms of helping you find additional copies of the key units. And I guess I haven't talked about the key units too much in this video yet, but there's 3 key units in a Burning Tree comp, and you want as many of each of them as possible. Those key units are Burning Tree, Echo Wood, and Ashwood Elm. So next turn, we are going to be tier 5. We might be able to purchase some XP. We're going to have 3 extra gold to do so. And then we could roll on level 6. Otherwise, we're just looking for Burning Trees next turn. And then, well, okay. I guess I'll take Heartwood Elders too. This is not a key unit, but the fact that we don't actually have that much to do this turn, I think is going to make this a pretty reasonable pickup here. And I do think Forking Rod is pretty nice with the Merlin's Hat. So I'll toss the Dark Contract. That has done enough for us. And then I'll roll, and I believe I roll 2 more times. And, oh, no. I pick up the Shoulder Fairies here. Okay, Shoulder Fairies is actually a pretty solid pickup. And we can actually pick it up at a slight discount because we can double cast this Shrink spell. Might as well, because otherwise we're taking the Shoulder Fairies and rolling and then just casting a random spell. Or we can cast this Shrink spell. That'll make the Shoulder Fairies cost 2 less. And now we've got 3 gold to potentially roll into more burning trees. So that's kind of the idea here. If I find a burning tree, I will lock it, but I don't. So I won't. And let's jump ahead into this battle versus Merlin. But from here on out, 6.0, the only units that I'm going to be purchasing are, if we can help it, maybe I would buy a Hercules because we are still an XP up on the rest of the lobby. But really, all that I want, Burning Tree, Echo Wood, Ashwood Elm. And we're going to try to buy as many of each of those units as possible. And that's the plan. We scaled up Burning Tree, our upgraded Burning Tree, pretty nicely here. But let's see what we can't do now that we, are level 6. Smite, kind of interesting to double cast it. Burning Palm, pretty good. We could give Burning Tree plus 8 attack. So it gives it plus 8. That's not bad for free. We'll go for that here. Rip off this Burning Palm. And then I find an Echo Wood. So that's definitely one of the units that I want to be picking up. And then I find another Echo Wood. And interestingly, I don't actually have anything to do with this Echo Wood here. I'm benching both of these Echo Woods. They're not good. But I still want to pick them up because I know that we're going to have enough time. We're at 29 health, and I know where I want to go with this comp. So right now, I'm actually crunching the numbers and just realizing, so I know we're locking this shop for the turn, and I probably want to purchase this Echo Wood. But mathematically, is it worth it to roll the dice? And I think yes, especially because we're going to double cast it. So the way that this works, I can't remember if this is, I think this is just probability, right? It's not permutations or combinations, but we're going to be casting Roll the Dice twice. So to see the odds that we can get Echo Wood, I'm just going to be like, I'm not really, I mean, maybe I am paying attention to this fight a little bit, but I'm also just calculating the numbers. So the first roll of the die has an 80% to fail, and then you multiply that by the second roll of the die, which has a 75% chance to fail. So overall, it's a 60% chance to fail, 40% chance to grab the Echo Wood with the roll of the die. Interestingly, though, roll the die is just plus 2 gold because it's just going to give us 2 units. So we could then sell those 2 units and purchase the Echo Wood. We did get lucky. We hit the 40%, but 40% isn't the craziest thing in the world. And yeah, so it feels justified in that regard. I'm going to pick up an Ashwood Elm here. That is really good. And then I'll play these Echo Woods and figure out, but we've basically got a really good comp here altogether. The Shoulder Fairy is technically bigger than the Echo Wood right now, but then I find this Ashwood Elm. So I've got to sell 4 units to play Ashwood Elm, and we can still play 7 units, so definitely going to be going for this one. This was all possible because we rolled the die. So I'll sell out of my creepers, especially because I cannot triple them. That's going to allow us to pick up this Ashwood Elm. I'm going to be supporting both Ashwood Elms with the Heartwood Elder, the upgraded Heartwood Elder. And then interestingly here too, I am going to play the Ashwood Elm instead, or rather the Happy Little Tree instead of playing the Echo Wood. And the reason for this is purely because the Happy Little Tree will deal 3 damage in the back line, whereas the Echo Wood will only deal 1. And we see that my opponent is also on trees. They got a Medusa, and they've got an Ashwood Elm, and they've got an Echo Wood, and then they also have a pumpkin in the back. So a little bit scary and a little bit unfortunate to just barely not clear their unit. This is going to be a pretty close combat. We are probably going to walk away with a win, but it's all going to depend on what is inside the pumpkin. Doesn't look like too much scam, but how big are their units? That's going to be the question. Happy Little Tree just barely going to survive, so calculated, going to be able to hit my opponent for extra damage because of that. Oh no, actually it does go out. So it didn't actually wind up working out in the end, but was still worthwhile to go for. Then I'm going to pick up another Echo Wood and grab a tier 6 treasure, and we've got a really interesting decision to make because I really want this Staff of the Old Toad, and the hat, or the Forking Rod rather, really only works with the hat. However, I do see that if I take this Wand of Weirding, I could triple cast this Spinning Gold, which is basically going to make it pay for itself, the fact that we are losing our Forking Rod. Ivory Owl does work pretty well with Echo Wood, and it will scale our entire board to help us get some pretty big numbers, but I just think there's a lot of good stuff that Wand of Weirding can do in this end game, and it, like I said, is already going to pay for itself. It's going to give us 3 extra gold right now from taking it. So I'm going to go for Wand of Weirding, spin the gold, and then let's roll for an additional tree or something. And immediately I find a burning tree. So I'm going to sell off my happy little tree finally and pick up another burning tree. And I'm pretty happy to be able to do that one as well. There is a Green Knight in the shop, but Green Knight wasn't one of those units that I named earlier, and I don't think that it is worth spending 6 gold on. I really only want to spend gold on those 3 key units, and that is the best possible way to build the Burning Tree comp. Don't get distracted by Green Knight, even by Robin Wood. I think that Robin Wood is a trap. I think that there's some other high-level players that will disagree with that in particular and say that Robin Wood is good, but I don't like Robin Wood. I don't like Heartwood Elder. I just want Echo Wood, Ashwood Elm, and Burning Tree. So let's roll and let's try to find some of those key units now. Would definitely like to find Ashwood Elm. Burning Palm, again, still good. It's a triple cast, but it is going to cost us some gold. So let's see if we can't do any better. But you know what? If we're looking for tier 6 units, a triple cast of Masquerade Ball does seem like it could be good because it's going to make our shop roll into only tier 6 units. But unfortunately, that one does not quite pay out. So we're going to keep rolling. We can't cast this Knighthood now. I would have loved to have Knighthooded the Ashwood Elm or the Burning Tree. But that one is unfortunate, and we will not be able to Knighthood anything this turn. So we'll just keep on rolling and find another Burning Tree that can slot right in here. And then we'll cut the Heartwood Elder for that, and just going to move around some things slightly, try to figure out the best way to position these things. Again, Green Knight, don't want it. Let's jump ahead for a second. I don't think I wind up reordering this board, and we will see that this APOC is also playing Burning Tree stuff. And they've got 2 Echo Woods. They also pigomorph one of our units, but we're looking at a pretty similar comp. My opponent, definitely a little bit bigger than us, and unfortunately our unupgraded Echo Wood is going to trade, or our upgraded Echo Wood is going to trade with their unupgraded one. So we're going to take 16 damage, but we've been so strong this whole game that we can afford to take a little bit of damage here and now. What's it called? This spell, Flourish, I think is honestly a really considerable option here, and definitely could have considered going for that one, but do ultimately decide against it. It would have been a triple cast. It would have given 7 health to an Ashwood Elm, which gives 7 attack to 2 different Burning Trees, which gives 14 health to both of them. So 14, that's 28 health. So it would have been 50 health onto the upgraded Echo Wood. It's definitely worth considering, but I decided against it here. And this is another really interesting option. This is the only play, watching this game back, that I think I disagree with, actually. I really like all of my other plays. Even not casting the Flourish to roll, I think that one's just like, you know, how you're feeling in the moment, what you feel that you need. And I feel like I need to get more powerful because we saw that APOC, he was more powerful than us, so we need to get more powerful than them. And I think that picking up more Burning Trees is one way to do it, but I decided to roll out of this Burning Tree just to like cast a Potion of Heroism and then end the turn. Really not sure why I did that, to be totally honest. But we see that the Midas here is also playing with a bunch of trees, so it is a full tree lobby in the end game, and that's going to be pretty common in a lot of these high-level lobbies where everybody's kind of competing for the same trees, the same units. So I think that puts Storybook Brawl in a pretty interesting place right now. But you know, that's what you get. There's always going to be something that is the best comp, and right now that's probably trees. So we're going to see a lot of people playing it, and we're going to see a lot of me playing it too. Like I said, my games the next 3 days are all going to be games that are going to pretty heavily feature Burning Tree, as I was trying to force it on stream, but we'll save the commentary on those games for those videos. Though those are all Twitch games, so they'll just have live commentary. We just barely get out of there with a win against Midas, and now we are up against the Ghost again. There's Robin Wood, and we do have 2 units that we need to replace on this board, but we've got Staff of the Old Toad, and I think we just have to make use of the staff while we have it, and our opponents don't. I'm definitely eyeing up my different possibilities here, but I want to roll, and I want to find some more Ashwood Elms and some more Echo Woods to really start to pop off. Could go for Hercules up against the Ghost. I think that that's ultimately going to be a little bit slow, and going to decide against that. Pigomorph is cute with the Mimic Chest and the Wand, but that would be a little bit slow too, I think. But triple casting Dream does seem good. We get to pick up a Gwen or a Morgan here. I'm going to go for Morgan Le Fay. That's going to give us a tier 6 treasure, which we then get to double with our Mimic Chest. So I'm going to toss Staff of the Old Toad, and now we've got a doubled Singing Sword, and then I get to transform one more time. Don't really want to go for Cursed King. I feel like that could be a little bit of a liability, and we end the turn with some gold unspent. But basically, now we're really popping off. So now our Ashwood Elms are going to be able to give double their health because of the Singing Sword, and then triple their health because of the Singing Sword and the Mimic Chest to any burning trees that we put in the front line. So I'll be moving the other burning tree to the front soon. APOC has taken out the King Midas, and we are now really, really super powerful, and another burning tree is really strong at this point. I didn't want it a second ago, but it's really, really strong now. So I am going to definitely pick up this burning tree, and I think I will pause it here for a second. I'll go for a kidnap just because, hey, maybe we'll tie. But let's talk about this before we get into the last combat. So we've got 2 Ashwood Elms, and let's not worry about the Heartwood Elder buff right now, though. Actually, sure. Let's worry about it. So the Ashwood Elms are going to have, the one in the front is going to have 48 health. The one in the back is going to have 44 health. So that is going to be a total of 92 health. Am I doing that math correctly? Yes. 92 health on the Ashwood Elms. That means all of my units are going to receive plus 92 attack. So that means if we multiply 92 times 6, that is going to be, oh gosh, like 540 attack. Well, I guess plus 2. So I totally lost it. This isn't the important part. All of my units are going to get a bunch of attack, but we take that 92 health or that 92 attack, and that's going to mean that my first burning tree is also going to get 92 health. And then both of these other burning trees are going to get 184 health. And then all of that health combined, 184, 184, and 92, so that's 368, 450, 460 health is then going to get doubly put on the Echo Woods health. So that is 920 health that the Echo Wood is going to get at the beginning of the combat. And that is the core of the comp. Fully explained here now. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I forgot why this is crazy. We've also got Singing Sword and we've got Mimic Chest, so triple everything that I just said. This Echo Wood is going to get up into like the 3000s basically. Great. I forgot why I started doing that breakdown. But yeah, the Mimic Chest plus Singing Sword is going to make all of these things go bananas. We see the Echo Wood almost in the 3000s there. My opponent also has a Singing Sword, so they are also looking pretty powerful, and so are we. Our Echo Wood is just going to barely survive against their Echo Wood, so this one is looking like a win. However, our Echo Wood is last to attack, so this is actually a tie, which means my triple kidnap is going to come up. And what do we steal but 3 more Ashwood Elms? So absolutely fantastic. I'd love to Phoenix Feather plus Mimic Chest. Obviously, we can't toss the Singing Sword. We can toss the other spell or the wand to cast spells. And now we're just looking at a point where we've got too many units and no way to throw all of this on the board. We could potentially buy the Burning Tree and then roll for more Burning Trees. But I think I'd rather roll for Ashwood Elm. I think that that is just a better use of our gold, and I don't want to spend 5 gold rolling for a Burning Tree that we probably won't be able to triple. So I'm just going to roll for Ashwood Elms here. I think that that is probably the best thing that we can do. And then I see Medusa, and what I was considering there for a second is frontlining my Echo Wood. But the fact that I'm considering it means that my opponent will also be considering it too. And frontlining Echo Wood is good because then everything else gets to eat up Echo Wood. And you can see me like, oh, do I want to put my Echo Wood frontline? I'm not sure, but I think my opponent is. And even if they're not, even if their Echo Woods are backline, I think that we can still get a lot of value by having a backline Medusa. Maybe even potentially more value. But there we see my opponent has frontlined their Echo Woods. They should have frontlined their Burning Trees though too, because that's how you make use of the Singing Sword. Fortunately, the Medusa gets attacked, but it doesn't matter. My Echo Wood is just so strong, and my opponent obviously made that error there by backlining their Burning Trees. We even had the Mimic Chest plus Phoenix Feather ready to go there, but we also just had that absolutely massive Echo Wood because we put together the Trees comp finally. So that's the Trees comp. That is how you put it together from start to finish. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this one because I got a whole bunch more Burning Tree games coming for you soon. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.